Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again, my friends out there in the wonderful world of television land. How are you guys? How's the family? How's the friends? How's the cousins? How's everybody? Hope you are all fine and well. Welcome to season 2 of IQRA Kids TV. Not only do we have the usual features, we've still got, like, let's see the world, where we're going all over the place to see amazing things. We've also still got, we've got Muslim heroes as well, talking about amazing people that did amazing things throughout history. And of course, we've still got the random art show, showing you how to do a bit of drawing, do a bit of coloring, bit of shading, stuff like that. But not just that, we've added to our roster of amazing shows. We've got ABC of Islam, where I've been looking all over the planet, and I mean all over the planet, for those elusive letters that my future self has sent to us. Quite confusing. What's going to happen when all those letters are found? I'm sure we're going to find out as soon as possible. We've also got Muslim Maestros. Now, Muslim Maestros is about going into our community, speaking to talented individuals that are doing fantastic work in and outside of the Muslim community. And we've sat down, we've spoken to them, and we have interviewed them, and it's all coming up soon. We also have the new feature, Kun Faya Kun, with Professor IQRA, and of course, make sure he's not here as well. Kid Bilal, featuring things that you see every day, like satellites. Well, you don't see satellites, but things like TVs, microphones, microwave ovens. How do they actually work? How does the sun work? Well, if you watch Kun Faya Kun, How Things Work, they'll tell you all about it. Right, before we get on with the show, let me set today's question. I want to make it a bit more challenging for you. Who was the second to last prophet? Who was the second to last prophet? Don't have to send it in to us. Yes, you can see the QR code. Yes, you should click on it, but you don't have to send your answers when you go to our Instagram page. Just go over there, make sure you follow us and like. And if you've got any comments or feedback or anything you'd like to send in, like your amazing artwork, or if you've got an idea for Kun Faya Kun that you think, I'd like to know how this works and that works, we will feature it. All you need to do is let us know on that page. Okay, so the question again before we go for the show is, who was the second to last prophet? We'll find out together in a while. But for now, let's get on with the show.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again to another digital showcase. This show is art related, and it's showing you how to do things on a laptop using a free software that I've downloaded years and years ago and I use all the time. It's called Inkscape. It's absolutely free, so we're going to be using that for our tutorial, for our showcase today. But before we get our teeth sunk into that, I want to remind you, we need some more people to go over to our Instagram page and to like and share and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do for you, a big favor, because I'm nice like that, I want you to hit that QR code, this one, inshallah, right? That QR code on the screen now, whip your phone out, take a photo, as if you're going to take a photo of it, and go directly to our Instagram page, IQRA Kids TV. Make sure you follow us there as well. And if there's any artwork you've got or anything to do with any of our shows on IKTV, you can send your feedback there, your thoughts, your artwork. If you want to come into the studio, sit next to me and do some fantastic artwork for Random Art Studio, that is the place to inbox me and let me know, okay? Thank you very much. Right, you can get rid of the QR code now. There we go, here it goes, this off. Right, as I said, I'm going to use a software called Inkscape. This Inkscape is absolutely free. I've used it for years and years and years and years, and all of the books that I produce are made on that software. In fact, the most recent books were made on this laptop as well. All the files, some I've backed up, but a lot of them are on here. The point is it's free, okay? Absolutely free to use. So let's have a look at the interface on my laptop. And I'm going to show you where all the tools are and everything. Let's have that laptop up now. There you go. So you can see here to the far right, we've got all the icons. We've got a picker tool. We've got the selection to edit path tools. We've got the square tool, the circular tool. This one's got some interesting patterns on there. To be honest, I don't use all of these. The ones I use the most is probably this one, which is the Draw Bezier Curves and Straight Lines tool. A lot of these, as I said, this one, I use this one the most because it's just so really handy, right? And then you've got the gradient tool. Oh, my thing's a bit slow. Create and edit gradients, and so on and so forth. We're going to keep our tutorial fairly simple today by just doing something very easy. Let me change my hand over here to this picker tool. Now, what I want to do is show us how we can trace over a picture. Say, for example, you found a picture online that you thought is really cool. I don't want to draw it traditionally with a pencil or a marker or something like that as well, but I want to draw it on my computer, and that way maybe I can change the colors, I can change the shape, sizes, and things of that nature. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So what I've decided to do, I've found a nice picture of Picachu. Do you know Picachu? Right, let's look at our laptop. Right, what we're going to do, I've already found a picture online, and I'm going to drop in the Picachu picture. There he is, right? Right, I'm going to zoom in now, holding down the control key on my laptop and zooming in with my wheel on my mouse so we can see it quite closely. So it's a nice, simple picture of Picachu there, very simple. Let me remind you, I can zoom in and out very easily like this by holding down the control key on the keyboard and scrolling with my mouse wheel on my mouse, okay? And let's go up. You can go up and down with it as well. Right, so how are we going to draw that? The first thing we want to do with this particular one here is we need to make it a little bit lighter in color. Because if we start drawing black lines everywhere, for example, if I zoom in and start drawing a black line here, right? Whoopsie daisy, it's the wrong color, right? Let me just change it to black, right? Change that color to black, right? It's going to be hard to see the line that we've drawn and the line that is on the picture, okay? So what we're going to do, delete that. We're going to zoom out. We're going to select that picture of the Picachu jumping and looking like he's having a lot of fun. Just going to click on it. Then over here at the bottom, you can see it says opacity, 0%. Okay, I'm going to grab this thing here and I'm going to move it over to the center. As I'm doing that, you can see the Picachu picture is fading away. If I go all the way, it's totally disappeared. It's still there. I've just changed the opacity, means I've made it transparent. So we want to be able to see it. We don't want it to be invisible, but we don't want it to be full color. So we're going to knock it down to about 40%. Let's maybe make it 30%. So it's light, very light color, so that when we start drawing our lines on top of it, we can see those lines that we are drawing. Okay, right, as I said before, the tool that I'm going to use for this particular drawing is going to be this one here, Draw Bezier Curves and Straight Lines. Okay, I'm going to click on that one. Now let's just mess around with it over here. So let's click over here, click and just move your mouse. You see you can make straight lines like this. Just click and then go back to where you started and just click on it. See it's gone red? Click on it and it's there now. It's absolutely there. Change my hand back to the normal one. It's still on the 30% opacity, so I'm going to bring it back up. So you can see here, if I zoom into it, that's what I've just drawn. It's got a white inside and a black outside line. Those are determined by the tools on this side here. Okay, the fill color is obviously speaks for itself. It speaks for itself because it's got the fill and that is what it's filled with. So if I grab this little thing here and move it up towards the red, you can see it's gonna go red. So no matter what color I click on here, it's going to fill it with that color. Isn't that cool? Right. Now you're saying to yourself, that's really cool, Khaleel, but what about the outside line? The outside line is called a stroke. Okay, it's called a stroke. And we have a tool on this palette here to fix that. So you can see next to the fill here, it says stroke. I'm just going to click on it. And that is the stroke color. Same with the fill color. If I click anywhere, that stroke color will take that color. Isn't that cool? Now, if you're thinking, that's nice, but suppose that line of the stroke is too thick. Suppose I want to make it thinner, Khaleel Bhai. What do? Right, if you go over back to this tool here, it says stroke style. Okay, I'm going to click on that, and here it says width. At the moment, it's 1.153, which means that's the thickness of that stroke. So I can click on the plus or the minus or the plus sign to make it thicker. As I'm clicking the plus sign, you can see it's getting thicker, 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 thicker. Or obviously the opposite, if I click on the minus, it's getting thinner and thinner. You could also just select it and put in your own number. Let's put in 12, see what it does. Massively thick, massively thick. If I highlight it again and put on 5, put 5 and then hit return, it's gone down to 5. So you can put in as much, you can put the exact coordinates, the exact measurement that you want for the thickness. So this is a tool we're going to use. Okay, now you might also be saying, Khaleel, that's okay, but all these lines are straight. The Picachu picture's got some round curvy bits. You see, like all of him actually, it's got curvy bits everywhere, his fingers, his mouth. It's all curvy, and all your lines are straight, Khaleel. How do we make those lines curvy? I'm glad you asked me that. Right, so what we're gonna do first of all, we're gonna click on our weird snake thing that we've drawn with the blue outline stroke and the purple fill. We're going to click on it, and you can see those lines, those arrows, those indicate that it's been selected, okay? Those of you who have done a bit of artwork on the computer, you will know that that means it's been selected. It's like using things on Word for Windows or Publisher or things like that. Once it's selected, those lines appear. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to the far left, and the second icon down, it says Edit Paths by Nodes. Click on it. The minute I click on it, you can see here these gray squares have appeared. Can you see those gray squares there? They're all everywhere that I stopped and clicked. Yeah, boy. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the control key on my laptop and go to this first one here, and when I click on it, it goes circular. Click on this one, hold the control key down, and it turns it into a curve. Click on this one, it turns it into a curve. Click on this one, you can see it will turn those straight lines into curves. And even this one, I can soften all those edges. Even this one, like that. Now, if I stay here, if I double click on this, you see those handles have come out. Whoa, what do those mean? Let's grab this one and move it around. That way you can control where the curve goes. Whether it's longer, shorter. Same thing if I grab this one here, it will control that. So I can still grab here and move it and still grab these handles here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Any of these handles that have been activated. So remember, I went to the second tool down, edit paths by nodes, and then held down my control key, clicked on any of the square things, and it created those nodes, okay? Those handles this is how we're gonna get curvy lines, okay? This is how we're going to get curvy lines. Remember now, I might be going a bit fast, but again, what I want you guys to do, especially if you're watching on YouTube, pause it, rewind, listen to what I'm saying, look at it very carefully, and you'll get an idea of how these things are made. It is very simple, and once you get the hang of it, trust me, you can do some very interesting drawings. And in a way, the reason why I really love doing digital work is because you can make as many mistakes as you like. You've always got the undo button, okay? The undo button is a lifesaver. Right, so I'm gonna zoom out now. I'm gonna click on this curvy thing that we did. I'm going to delete it, we don't need it. So we're gonna go back to our Picachu and we're gonna zoom in. Let's start with here. So let's go back to this tool, remember, this Draw Bezier Curves and Straight Line tool. Click on it. Then we're going to click here. Then click here. click. I'm just gonna do his ear for now. Click here and go right back to the top. Should we go back to the top? Yes. Right back to the top. Okay, now you can see what it's done. It's got this big fat blue line. That's because it's taken the attributes of the last thing we did. Remember we did that blue blob, the purple blob with the blue outline? It's taken those same attributes. So what we have to do, we have to go over to here, to stroke style. It's on 3.700. I'm gonna put it to 1. So that outside blue line is gonna go to 1. And it's still filled in. If I go to fill here, it's still filled in. Okay, if I wanted to get rid of that fill altogether with no colors, I can go down to the bottom here of my color palette, go to the very left, and you see that X there, that white box with the red X, click on it, and it's no longer filled in. Right, okay, so that we've done it now, we need to make sure that these lines follow the curve of his ears. Remember, we're trying to trace it. Okay, maybe one thing I should do first is make that line black. I'm gonna go up here to curve, to stroke, excuse me, and go right here where it's black, and I'm going to make that stroke a little bit thinner. I'm going to make it 0.5, so it's a bit thinner. Right, click on the desktop and just go here, click back on it. Now what I'm going to do is going to blow your mind, okay? I'm going to double click on it, on the line this side. Double click on it, and you see that little node came out? I'm going to drag it out there like that. This one, I'm gonna grab it and push it out so it matches the curve. This one hasn't got one of those nodes. These things are called nodes. So I'm gonna put my mouse over it, hold my control key down, and hit it like that. You see, it's made a curve and it's got those handles again. Ooh, right, so with those handles, we can follow the curvature as much as we can of his ear. We might have to move this down a little bit and go up like that. Okay, same with here. See that one there, that's appeared there. Let's just move that up. Click on it here, move that down. I'm just gonna use this handle to follow the exact line, the exact curve of his ear. There is his ear. That is how we're going to draw all of it, okay? So what I want you to do, just watch carefully. I'm gonna go over the whole thing and we'll see how I get on. Okie dokie. Right, so we've come back. So now you can see I just decided to do his head, okay, for now. And you can I use the same tools, the same way I push this line out, I push that line out here. This could have been a bit better. So if I click on the center, double click on the center there, and I'm gonna move that up so it follows the curve of his head a bit more accurately. Zoom out again. There you go. Right, I'm gonna continue doing the rest of his body now. So we'll be back in a second. Right, you can see here now, I've just followed the main parts of his body. And then what we're going to do, we're going to zoom in a little bit here. Obviously, I had to continue that line, so it's gone over his head. But don't worry, once we put the color in, if we get that far, you won't be able to see that line. It's going to be behind his head. So what we're going to do, we're just going to double click on that. We're going to start following some of these curves. just by grabbing the line and just pulling it out. Might take a little bit of practice. Just gonna hit that one, hold on the control key, hit that one there so it makes that node. I'm gonna bring that down to follow the curve of his leg. Here I'm gonna hold my control key down, hit that one there, hit it again, and you can see that those handles have come out. I can use that. Now these handles, they look interesting, but I must warn you, it takes a little bit of practice to get it right. A couple months ago, my wife said, oh, could you show me how to do digital drawing? And she did struggle with trying to use these handle things. If I click on it again, double click it here, these handles, they look easy to use, but because I've been using it for years and years and years, it's easy for me, but it does take a while to kind of get the grips with how does it work? What does that mean? Which one do I move in the right place? The only thing I can say is that you need to just practice with it, as I told my wife months ago, because she wanted to have a go, right? Just need to practice it over and over and over again. Right, let's do his tail now. Clicking onto this Bezier tool again. Gonna go here, here, here. This one is quite straight, but not totally, so I'm just gonna do those main corners. Like this, like this. I'm gonna go here and then here again. Remember, once we color this thing here, you won't see that line because it's gonna be behind. Let's click on it. Let's just grab this line here. Whoopsie daisy. Grab that line and just move it out because it is slightly curvy there. The rest is pretty straightforward. Let's do his foot down here. Right, we're gonna stop it here. Right, guys, make sure you watch part 2 where I'm gonna try and get time to fill it in and to color it in, inshallah. So guys, this is only be part 1 of how to draw this particular Pikachu. There's so much to learn, and I know again, and please forgive me for going on super miles an hour, but it's the only way I can really show you, seeing how somebody does it, especially when it's a new medium. It's not what you're using with your fingers and your pencils on your hands and things like that. It's not like that. This is more to do with clicking things and moving lines and getting used to using those handles that come on the curves. That's why I'm going a bit quick, but make sure you watch part 2 where we're going to show you how to color it in. I want to get that QR code back on the screen. Let's get that QR code back on the screen. Boys in the back room, there it is, guys. Make sure you go over to our Instagram page right now, after the show, right? And make sure you go like, follow us, and share some of our pictures. And if you've got any artwork, whether it's digital, whether it's something you've done at school or at home, something that you've seen that you think is really cool, maybe everybody's saying, oh, that's really nice. Why don't you send it to right? You've got the perfect place to send it to here on IQRA Kids TV. Send it along on our WhatsApp and we'll check it out. Not WhatsApp, excuse me, Instagram. Send it via Instagram with a little bit about yourself and we will feature on the show. Guys, stay tuned for part 2. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum. And another show done and dusted. More amazing features, more education, more art, more features. That's what we want. We want your ideas to make our show as good as possible. Now you can email us, of course, info@IQRA.TV, or if you hit that QR code on our screen right now, even from the comfort of your sofa, you can go directly to our Instagram page, and over there you can inbox us after you've liked and shared all of our bits and pieces, you know what I mean? You can inbox me directly there, DM me directly there, and we will hear your feedback as well. Oh, Khaleel, I want to know how shoes work. When you put them on and they work in it, what's the big deal? Oh, I want to know how televisions work. Or if you do have an idea, if you're curious about something and want to know how it works, inbox me right now. We'll sort it out with the 2 presenters, wherever they are. Right, my friends, thank you so much for checking us out this day. Speak to you soon. Assalamu alaikum. It was a massive right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.